It's a pleasure to have your company tonight. Hope you had a restful weekend. My name is Olive Nete. Now the news in details. Some service providers in industries and hotels in the city of Kigali request advocacy about damaged infrastructures such as roads because it is among the factors that hampers service provision. This is among the issues raised in the visits being done across the country by members of the Chamber of Deputies, and they aim at closely evaluating various challenges that may impede the hospitality sector. We have details on the story. During the current visits being done by deputies in the city of Kigali, on Sunday, they stopped by small and medium industries, hotels and apartments with the aim of assessing challenges faced daily by service providers in these sectors. Owners of hotels and lodges are content of the progress made in service delivery, but they also emphasize that some of their activities are hindered by damaged infrastructures such as roads, which dissatisfies tourists who seek their services.
People build in our entrance, and when you look at it, it is faced with a forest, and it is a thin area. That is among the challenges we usually face, and most of our clients are foreigners, and when they look at the entrance, they don't feel safe at all. The only good thing is that inside our place, it is a beautiful place with garden, rooms, and other things that attracts them, and they always wonder why we do not have well-established roads. We are requesting the authorities to assist us in establishing roads that will help our clients to feel good and comfortable. On the other side, owners of small and medium industries told deputies the issue related to taxes, which they say is still high, most especially to beverage industries that produces alcoholic drinks, and the fact that it is still hard for them to export goods. We still have a challenge because FDA delays to provide licenses, and that hinders us in various ways. You notice that some materials, such as machines, that haven't been functioning for a year, and there are people who are not hired yet due to that same issue. We on our side, we are ready, but sometimes having license to carry on our work delays, and few documents that we get hold of temporarily, let's say permit of a year, and yet the beverage has an expiration date of 5 years. And also for us to get permits, we pay, and pay again, because they are issued in a certain period of time. Some of the materials that foreigners are allowed to import are different from what we as well import. Honorable Georgette Rutaisire pointed out that these challenges and various other noticed will be presented in the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies and will be advocated for to the concerned institutions. Regarding apartments, we didn't find huge challenges. A few of those they mentioned is that their clients are seasonal, and you may find that during some seasons they have clients and others not. But regarding the industry of alcoholic drinks, they told us that taxes are a bit high, and also the fact that it is hard to find licenses. We shall discuss about that in the plenary sessions. We shall discuss about that in the plenary session and see what can be done. Despite the hotels and industries that were visited, deputies also went to Gisozi workshops, commonly known as Gachiriro, which has caught fire on several occasions of recent, and also to evaluate the decision made by the city of Kigali to relocate some of the people who were conducting businesses inappropriately in that place. The visits of deputies started on the 26th of May, and they are being carried out in various districts of the country, and currently they are being carried out in the city of Kigali. Now moving ahead, the residents of Gicumbi district said that the program to settle the needy families in the model villages has reduced the number of people who face the effects of disasters due to the nature of this district located in the northern province of the country. Adam Squithera with the report. A year ago, the Gicumbi district spent over 2.8 billion Rwandan francs to build a model village in the Rubaya sector, which was set to settle the people well and to protect them from the effects of disasters. It is a program that the residents of this district appreciated. We were living in risky areas, and due to that, we never felt safe during rainy seasons. We even faced disasters one time, and later they provided shelter to us.
There are other buildings for Model Village that are being completed in Murindi Cell in Kaniga sector worth more than 3.5 billion Rwandan francs, whereas in the coming days, people will be settled in those model houses. I really wanted this house, as it really helped me, because I've been living in a risky area. The mayor of Gicumbi district, Emmanuel Nzabonima, noted that in the collaboration with donors, they will continue to provide settlement for those living in high-risk areas in Gicumbi district. We plan to relocate 250 people within this year, and it is done in different ways, like there are those whom we relocate them through our budget, as there are even those who get relocated through the mobilization, because they have to be settled in the village, and we even have those who relocate due to that they need to approach the social infrastructures. Currently, there are more than 5 model villages in Gicumbi district, where about 62% of households live in villages. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for the report. Now, in matters related to infrastructure still, residents across the city of Kigali demonstrated the issue of poor water supply caused by the clogging of water pipes in some areas. Adams Kwizera continues.
Closed water pipes that are not repaired on time are one of the major causes of poor water supply in some areas of the country.
Sometimes we find a closed water pipe, and it is hard for us sometimes to find technicians to fix them, and that also becomes another issue, and this leads to water wastage.
The report from the Office of Auditor General demonstrated that WASAC Limited only billed 55%, which is referred to 37,470,480 meter cubed out of 68,139,551 meter cubed of water produced during the year ended on 30th June 2022. The remaining 45% of 2021 were not billed. As a result, to that WASAC Limited lost revenues between 9.9 billion Rwandan francs, considering the minimum selling price of 323 francs per meter cubed, and 27.45 billion Rwandan francs. That was lost from the maximum selling price of 895 Rwandan francs per meter cubed. Among the reasons of this issue is the damage of water pipes, which WASAC said it will be fixed in the coming days, as noted by the Acting Director General of WASAC Limited, Umuhumu Sashizal.
Muri Kigali honyine dufite ibirometero 562.
In Kigali city only, we have 562 meters, which cost us much revenues, plus also expanding the water pipes for water supply in the city of Kigali, and that will also be made in the rural areas where we are renovating water pipes.
The Water and Sanitation Corporation also found that there is a loss they faced from over 50,000 water meters, which were expired, hence to provide irrelevant data. As the Director General also noted that they started to solve this issue through replacing them by new ones.
In this fiscal year and the next year, we want to replace almost 32,000 so that in the next 2 years, there will be almost 50,000 water meters, which will be replaced by new ones. We will also evaluate if those water meters are functioning well.
In the recent population census, which was conducted in 2022 by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, NICR demonstrated that 82.3% of Rwandans gets access to clean water, where in urban areas there are 95.8% who have access to clean water, while in rural areas there are 76.8%, whereas in the National Strategy for Transformation NST1, it is stated that access to water will be scaled up to 100% by 2024. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
In matters related to commemoration, survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Gakenke district say that the atrocities done in different parts of this area resulted in more than 100 families completely being wiped out. Adams Kwizera continues.
Mukamunezi Seraphine, 42 years old, during the genocide against Tutsi. In 1994, her family lived in today's Kivuruga sector. When she was 12 years old, she remembers that there were many people killed in this area within a short time, hence to a wipeout of 10 families related to her.
nari mfite imiryango itatu yarigizwe mu murenge wa Busengo yarigizwe n'abantu.
I had 3 families and they used to live in Nyabusengo with over 40 family members, but all of them were wiped out. Same in Kivuruga, where I had almost 5 families with 15 family members, and all of them were also wiped out. The reason behind this is the structure of this area. They surrounded us easily and killed us day and night, and within a few days, many Tutsi were all wiped out.
So far in Gakenke district, 121 families were completely wiped out during the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, leaving no surviving members behind, as the president of Ibuka in this district, Twagirimana Hamdun, pointed out that the list might increase. We have some information that there are some people who are not on the list, which we are planning to make by next year, where we will count those remaining families. In the 29th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Gakenke district, the governor of the northern province urged the elders in this district to avoid anything that can distort the history.
Let me urge parents to explain in details the true history of the genocide against the Tutsi to the young ones, plus also training them patriotism and the unity of Rwandans as well.
In the 29th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi in Gakenke district, there were 2 recently found bodies that were buried in dignity at Gakenke Genocide Memorial Site, located in Kivuruga sector, where 1,886 victims are laid to rest.
Now to sports matters. Rwandans and foreigners who participated in the Kigali International Peace Marathon on Sunday appreciated the way it was organized because it reflects the true image of the country. We have details on this story.
The competition was participated by more than 8,500 from 48 countries. Foreigners appreciated the cleanliness and safety of the city and how the event was organized in general.
The marathon is great. It's the first time I did it. It's of course, we know Kigali, it's a beautiful city, but to do it on foot and in a big crowd like this as a social event, it gives a special something.
The rest was fine. It was fun, though a little hot, but we really enjoyed it. So far, I think this is the most beautiful country, very clean, very orderly, and we just like the atmosphere. It's really lovely.
The marathon was also an opportunity for Rwandans who work with international companies to show their colleagues Rwanda's current development so as to attract investment. Their wish is that it should happen at least twice a year.
This marathon is an opportunity to look at the good infrastructures of Kigali and also the way to preserve health. We know how important sport it is to our health, and we find this really beneficial. We also had foreigners who participated in the retreat which happened in the country. They were content. This was a very pleasant event because the ambience shows happiness. Yes, it is good for the health, but what mattered to me was how people were happy. This is what led us to do it at the end because people were many.
The Minister of Sport, Aurore Mimosa Munyangaju, who also participated in the marathon, noted that this is an ongoing competition. This competition will be taking place every year, and we are content of the fact that the standard of the Marathon of Rwanda has reached to another level. The marathon was divided into 3 categories: the full marathon, the half marathon, and the run for peace. George Onyacha of Kenya won the full marathon for men, while Muhulbet Stega of Ethiopia stood out among all the women competitors. Kennedy Kipieko of Kenya won the half marathon category, while Winfrida Mola Moseti triumphed in the category for women.
On behalf of the entire news production team, thank you for staying with us. Have a fruitful week ahead.